Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. I'm Jim Hacking. It's Friday, I don't know, what is it? The 15th of April. The 15th of April. Oh, tax day. Today's tax day. Julie's giving me a 4. Oh, it's the 14th. Tomorrow's the 15th. Okay, cool. That means tax forms are due on Monday. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I was looking at tomorrow's schedule. So tomorrow, Saturday, we'll be on at 12:30 tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. I'll be coming to you live from the Afton Athletic Association. Noor has a game at 1:30. This is the 353rd episode 353 of the Immigration Answer Show. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all had a great week. Weather-wise, I can't remember a weather pattern that we've had in St. Louis that's been this nice for this long. It is supposed to rain tomorrow, so who the heck knows what's going to happen? But for that reason, you should probably text the word SHOW, S-H-O, to 314-470-3300 so that you get updated in case I have to move tomorrow's show. But for now, we're penciling it in at 12:30 tomorrow. That might all change based on rain. My good friend Julie is here. She's going to watch the comments. Make sure you all stay in line. A lot of good comments yesterday. Everyone was wondering where Shabazz was, and we were all very happy that he joined us to let us know his new plan, which is to go talk to the immigration judge. He says that they're both human and that therefore he should be able to talk to the immigration judge. I hope the judge is listening. Maybe the judge is watching the show. But if Shabazz is coming, the judge better be ready because Shabazz doesn't mess around. Wee Woo always kindly says hello to Noor and to me, so thank you for that. Rocio's here. A lot of our favorites are here. Lewis from London is here, but visiting in Dublin. I saw a wonderful Irish flag today, Lewis, and I also got a chance on Tuesday to see the Irish women's national team take on the U.S. American women's soccer team at St. Louis City Park. And the United States squad won 1-0. It was a fun game. My daughter had much fun with some of her friends, and we're really lucky to have this new soccer stadium here in St. Louis. Let me see if I can find the flag of me. That's me with the Irish flag today. And then when I just got back from Friday prayer, and I got to meet and see one of my all-time favorite OG Muslims, the first Nigerian I ever knew, Abdul Rahim. Abdul Rahim always says to me, the first thing he sees me, Salam Alaikum. Then the second thing he always says is, how is my family? How is my family? Like he always asks how my kids are. He asks, how is my family? Which I think is sweet. And so I was waiting to talk to him, and he was literally the last brother done praying. So I had to wait till the very end to get to talk to him. Amani's texting me, when are you coming? When are you coming? When are you coming? But it's always good to see Abdul Rahim. You know, it's funny. I go around from mosque to mosque, and sometimes I don't hit a particular mosque for a while. And you see guys who've gotten older. He was there when I first started going to the mosque back in the late 90s, and he was there when I converted. And, you know, he's looking a little older. And then, of course, I have to ask myself, well, Jim, you're looking a little older too. So how about that? So it's good to be with all of you today. It's good. Tematope's here, always giving us good love. Everyone, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what's going on in your world. And I see some people who were here yesterday that were waiting for a long time. So I'm going to start with them, Tanika and Hidayat. I'm going to start with Hidayat, and then I'll go to Tanika next. Hidayat, how are you?
Hey, how are you, sir? I'm
I'm
sorry
well.
to turn off my video because I'm at work right now. So
No
I
worries.
cannot talk loudly. First of all, thank you so much to answer my call.
Sure thing.
Yeah, yeah. I have two quick questions. One question is for one of my friend, and the second question is for me. The first question is for him. He came 2 days ago on B1, B2 visa, and he arrived at Atlanta airport, and he got the I-94 just for 17 days, and actually he want to extend his I-94, and this is not his first time. He came a couple of times, and he stay, and he followed the rules, and he just, I mean, just he go back, and I mean, whatever he got the time on I-94, and then he left back. So this time he just got 17 days, and his visa will be expired after 1.5 years. So is it possible that he can extend his I-94? That's my question.
When was the last time he was here?
Last time last time I think which year he came? किस साल में आया था last time? He came last time in 2021. 2021 he came last time, and he
Why did
stayed
they
I
only
think for a couple.
why why did they only give him 17 days? Are they tired of him coming? Is he coming too much? What did they say? Why did they do that to him?
I think the officer asked him that why you came this time, why you came again. Actually, he came for a business purpose with one of his partner. He came for the business purpose actually.
Well,
So
that doesn't
that's
sound a
why.
business purpose doesn't sound like a legit answer. That's way too vague and way too not it's not specific enough. Why did he come?
Actually he came for the inspection of some wood things like that, and that's like whenever he came on. He told them the same thing to the officer, but he actually came for the inspections here, and this time he want to stay for at least 2 months, and he want to go back. He just got 17 days in his I-94.
Yeah, so he can file for an extension, but it's probably going to be denied, and it might be granted. But the problem is he's going to spend a long time here waiting for it to be approved or denied. So if he applies for an extension, he should still leave within 6 months. He shouldn't stay longer than that. That's for sure. But I would probably just leave within the 17 days. They must think he's coming too often, and they want him to
Hmm.
come up with a more permanent plan.
No, sorry, he want to go back, but he was just want to extend at least 2 months,
Yeah,
and
so then he can file it, but he's not going to get a decision in 2 months. So if he asks for 2 months, he should leave within 2 months. He'll leave before it's even decided.
okay, so you suggest let him to apply for the extension,
No,
and then
I suggest that he leaves within 17 days. But if he's going to ask for an extension and all he needs is 60 days, then he should ask for 60 days and he should leave
Mhm.
on 60 days.
Yes, sir, that's what he want to, and he talked to one of the attorney here. They tell them to give us the bank statements, some kind of that paperwork, who is going to support you. But he's going to support himself by himself. Like you don't need any kind of help. So that's the thing. Uh,
Well, again, my advice is leave within the 17 days. But if he's going to file for an extension, then he's got to file the strongest case possible. But I hate extension requests. I have a whole video on this why it's probably going to be denied, and he shouldn't stay longer than he needs to.
oh, okay. So you said like if he requests for the extension, they
Yeah,
will
because
not
they're not
going
going to
to.
give him a decision for a year. So what I
For
definitely don't
here.
want him to do is to hang out here waiting. Oh, I'm just waiting to see what they say. I'm just waiting to see what they say. Don't do that for sure.
So if he apply for the extension, and then when he want to go back, well, let's suppose he want to decide to stay only for 60 days, and when he stay for 60 days, and he have already that request for the extension, and when he want to go back, so his visa will be still valid, or his visa will be
I think
canceled.
if he, I think the safest thing for him to do to keep his visa and to keep the ability to get a new visa is to leave before 17 days. That's the best way to make sure he gets a new visa in a year and a half when this one expires. Whenever you file for an
Okay,
extension from your entry, even if they were crappy to you and only gave you 17 days, I think you're putting future visa renewal applications at risk.
that's a big problem. Yeah, because he have only 1.5 year left in his 5 years visa. So you're
All
right.
right,
He
Hadid,
can get.
I'm gonna move on, bud. Thanks, man.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
See ya.
Jim. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
bye. You got it. Tanika's here. Hi, Tanika.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I am doing good. So I spoke with you, I think it was probably a week ago,
Okay, I
regarding
remember.
yes, me and my fiance. So we decided we plan to withdraw our application for the fiance visa
Yeah.
and move forward with an I-130.
Okay.
Now, my question is, well, I visit him quite often. So, are we able to, when I visit him, we can sign the, I guess, marriage certificate, get married, but I still want to come back home
Hmm.
so we can start the I-130 process while I'm at home.
Yeah, you
Can
can
we
do
do
that
that?
if that's what you want to do. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. And then, so after filing the I-130, will I be able to visit him?
Maybe, maybe not, because then you're the spouse of a U.S. citizen. They might give you trouble at customs, especially once the I-130 is on file. But if you know, like to me, if I mean, because technically, if you wanted to, first of all, if you do come to visit and get married, I wouldn't get married within the first 60 days. That could cause problems.
Oh, okay. Because I was planning to come over, not for a long time, maybe like 2 weeks or so,
Yeah. So
but I want to come back.
so let me see if I can explain this to you because it's a little bit nuanced. So they think everybody's trying to jump the line and they think everybody's trying to screw them and not wait their turn. Okay. That's their mindset. So there's a rule that says that if you come to America on a non-immigrant visa and then you get married, that you were not being honest with your non-immigrant visa, even though you've had it before and even though you've come before, if you get married in those first 60 days. Now, the rule usually comes up when the person stays here and tries to get their green card. It's a little bit different when the person comes and gets married and then goes back home like you want to do, right? So what I'm saying is I believe that your plan of coming and getting married within 2 weeks and then leaving, I believe that's a defensible plan. But I also don't want to hand them something to hit you over the head with later on down the line, which is, hey, you came on this non-immigrant visa, but you got married a week after you got here. Even though you went back home, if I could avoid giving them that argument, I'd rather have your spouse come see you, get married there, and then come back and start the process.
Okay. So because we plan to get a prenup done, now that's the reason why we would prefer to get married in the US because the agreement would be in the US.
Yeah.
So
So
would you
I'm just laying it out there for you. You can do what you want. I think that, and I've had cases where somebody comes, gets married sort of quickly, but then leaves and doesn't try to adjust on that trip. And I think that's acceptable. But I also think you're giving yourself a black mark that you probably don't need to. It's sort of like a silly issue to hand them. I think it'd be fine, but I can't guarantee that it would be fine. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And another question that I had is after we go through with the process and the visa is approved, when I officially move to the US, should I be receiving a green card in the mail or is there something else that I need to do once the visa approved and I reach the US?
Yeah. So your spouse will file an I-130 petition for you. Once that's approved, it'll go to the National Visa Center. Then you'll file a DS-260 and pay some fees. And then you'll have your visa interview and you'll get approved. You'll get your visa. And then between the time you receive your visa and you get on the plane to come to the United States, you'll pay this thing called the Ellis fee, ELIS fee. It's like $260 or something. And then your green card should follow you in the mail a couple weeks after you enter.
Okay. And then the green card that I'll be receiving, that'll be for 2 years, correct?
Unless the whole process takes more than 2 years from the date of your marriage, yes.
Okay. And with getting married, with me and my husband being long distance, what evidence can we submit? Because we'll be married, but
Yeah, so you're going to focus on mostly the relationship. So the prior trips you've seen each other, if he's come to you, if you've gone to him, things you've done together, photos, chat, all that stuff. They understand you're not going to have, if you're living overseas, they understand you're not going to have a house together or things like that, or even paying taxes together. So if you go to hackinglawpractice.com/marital-evidence, there's a whole list of all the evidence that you can submit on there.
okay. And would I be able to visit him for because I've never been over there well, I had a student visa, but that was different. I was in school. But with my travel visa, I've never been over there for more than 2 weeks at a time. So am I able to be over there for like 4 months?
Well, yes, you can. And Nikki says, I visited my husband all the time during the process. We got married on vacation and I went back home. So at least according to Nikki, it works. My point was that it just takes one crabby CBP officer to, revoke your visa and send you home. But I think generally it should be okay, especially since you have the visit visa before you get married. So if you applied to get a visit visa after you're married, I think it's a lot harder.
Okay. And last question, just because I see a lot of different information online, at any time during this process, should I be filing the Form 485?
No, not if
Okay.
you're not. That's only if you're trying to do everything here in the United States.
Okay. Okay. You answered all of my questions.
Good luck,
Thank you so
Tanika.
much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, Judith is here. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Is it okay if I turn off my camera?
Yeah, sure. I'll just hide you. You don't have to turn it off. How you doing?
Oh, okay. Okay. So I was referred here by one of the assistants, our intake specialist.
Okay.
So my case is a bit tricky. I came to the US in 2017, and I had gotten married in 2018, and also the marriage didn't work out. So I filed for a divorce. And in between, I had filed for change of status and extension of, I think so, something of that like that. So fast forward, I filed for an asylum and then I was sent to immigration court. So recently, my case was terminated in court, and I had called to ask about what happens to the EOIR 42B form, and I was told that they never had it on file, they didn't receive it, they don't have it on my case, and my lawyer said he had I filed for that. So I requested for my court documents. So apparently it's on the list of documents that they have on my file, but the court is saying they didn't receive it. So I was wondering, would it be like a reason to reopen the case? Because the termination seems like a good thing, but it's really not in my favor, because it terminates everything. I don't have my work authorization or anything else,
So who filed the motion to terminate? Your lawyer?
So according to him, he just responded to the NTA and he denied the charges, saying that I wasn't removable, being that I have an asylum in place already. So I don't know how he came about the whole termination, because that wasn't where I was, headed with the whole thing. I was thinking I was going to get the cancellation based on domestic violence.
Okay. So were you in the courtroom when they discussed termination, or did the lawyer do that like on paper without being in front of the judge?
Yeah, I wasn't. There was no court proceeding. I was just given the notification on paper.
Okay, so you had a marriage case that never went anywhere. Then you filed for asylum. The asylum office didn't approve it and referred it to the immigration court. Then you're hanging out in the immigration court, and then the lawyer shows up and responds to the NTA, and then all of a sudden the proceedings are terminated.
Yes.
Who's the qualifying relative for cancellation? Is it based on domestic violence, or is it based on a U.S. citizen or green card holder relative?
U.S. citizen and domestic violence.
Okay. Well, what does your lawyer say now? Because can you bring those claims at USCIS? Have you filed an I-360?
We didn't file an I-360 because the marriage was, the divorce was in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's more than 2 years.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Judith, this sounds like a bit of a mess. I can see why the team sent you to me, but I think that you need someone to comprehensively look at your entire immigration file and see, have you gotten a copy of the file from your old lawyer?
I'm getting that by Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, if you scan it in and want us to take a look at it, we can see if there's something to do. I don't know if there's something to do based on what you've told me so far. Sounds like there might be a couple pieces of missing information that I'd like to see from the lawyer's file. Also, I would probably, if we were your lawyer, I would probably request a complete copy of your alien file, both from USCIS and from the immigration court, so that we can put together a whole piece of the, see the whole puzzle of your immigration history.
Okay. So do I reach back out to the office? Or...
Yeah. If you get the file from the attorney, is the attorney going to give it to you digitally or on paper?
On paper.
Yeah, so we need you to scan it in, and then we can look it over and see if we can help you.
Okay, I will do
All right.
that.
Thank you, Judith.
Mhm.
All right, all right. Huli found you in the comments too, or in the system, so we're good to go. Just send it on over, okay? All right. Ruth is next. Hi, Ruth.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm talking to you.
Great. I've got a couple of questions. I'd already contacted your office about maybe suing for a delay. We can't do it until the 485 has been a year, I was told.
Yeah.
I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on because I'm getting a little nervous about maybe a couple of things.
Okay, great.
Um, I had been living in Germany with my husband. We had a baby in 2021. I had come over here to have the baby. He came over here on ESTA. We had the baby. We almost didn't get her passport to get back out of the country in time before his ESTA expired. He'd asked for an extension because we thought we weren't going to be able to get it in time. They denied it. Luckily, we got it just in time, like one day. He got out of the country in time. We went over there back home. We came back to visit my parents. COVID kind of flared up. We decided we didn't want to put our daughter back on the plane. Stuff happened. We decided to stay, do an adjustment of status. Hired a lawyer to help us. That kind of ended badly. Broke up with the lawyer.
Why?
The legal assistant didn't speak English very well and kept asking for the same documents that we'd already sent her like 3 times. And that made me really nervous because I felt like if she's this organized in information and documents I'd already resent her, like how disorganized is this firm? So we ended up doing it ourselves.
So when on that entry, when did your husband enter and when did you file the 45?
Okay, he entered on 9/11/2021. We'd hired the lawyer, thought that we were going to get in everything before his visa expired. They weren't doing anything and shit didn't get filed. I filed.
Shit, I'm going to write that in the comments. Shit didn't get filed.
Pretty
Got
much.
it.
Yeah, and they were like, no worries, it doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll get to you. You're in order. We'll get to you when we get to you.
That's not good.
Yeah. And then so like I filed Feb 1, 2022.
Okay.
So he was the 130, and then I got super overwhelmed with the 485 adjustment of status package, and I didn't get it in until June 9, 2022.
Okay. Note to everyone, never file the I-130 without the 45 if the beneficiary is inside the United States. But I think people who watch the show know that because I say it all the time. But go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's all right.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
It is what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple of things now. I did. I guess. Okay. Sorry.
So what did you? So Ruth, the first time you filed the I-130 and the I-130A, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time.
Yes, I filed the 130 online. Yeah, and I think the 130A went in with the big stack of papers that went in with the 485.
Okay, so on the 45, you filed the 45, the 765 for the work card, the 131 for the travel document.
Yeah.
Did you file medical?
No, we haven't done that yet. No.
Okay, and did you file the affidavit of support?
Yes.
So how are you handling that? If you've been living overseas, did you make enough money on your taxes the last 3 years?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, so the I-130 in February of 2022 and the 45 package in June of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
Okay. So then I noticed that my husband put some wrong dates about his job on both applications.
That's not a big deal.
Okay. No, don't worry. But it makes it look like he was working in the United States. He had been on parenting leave and he had still been receiving money. Parenting leave is a year in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And so he put his end date was actually after the time he entered the United States. Is this a problem?
It's something you might have to explain later.
Okay. Second question is he'd answered no to the weapons training question on the 485. That is accurate. We've expedited his EAD because we kind of have an emergency situation. We bought a house. We found undisclosed termite damage, and it's kind of a disaster. They've granted it to us.
So far, your husband's really loving America.
Yes. He actually is. He likes it here. Yeah. I mean, but anyway,
we sure as hell don't have a year of paid paternity leave. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, he's a mechanical engineer with a master's degree, but because of the urgency of the situation, he's going to get any job he can. He had an interview over at the prison this morning. It requires weapons training. My question is this a problem for the 485? Because he did answer no to the weapons training. He's never had weapons training, but they actually offered him a job and he would have to do.
No, that's not a big deal.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's all my questions. Other than that,
but I have some questions. So I'm a little bit wondering. I mean, if you need that EAD, why don't we just sue on the EAD or sue on the I-1?
Got it.
You got it.
Expedite request. I said we did our inspections, termite problem, $50,000 repair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. We got it. So now we're just waiting for, I guess, the green card, the interview. The 130 is sitting there, not approved. 45.
Yeah. And when you sent in the 45, did you include the receipt notice for the I-130?
I did. I didn't send marital evidence. Was I supposed to send evidence? Should I upload it?
Yes, because otherwise you're going to get a request for evidence.
Okay, and I didn't submit a ton of evidence for the 130 other than my daughter.
Yeah, I mean my joke always is just bring your kid to the interview and pop him on the chair. But it sounds like you have a long history together, so you should have a lot more evidence than just your kid.
Yeah. Okay, so give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do that. Cool. And then 1 year from the date we submitted the 485, I can call your office and they're still sitting on their butts and we can sue, right?
Yep.
And, cool. That sounds perfect.
I would probably say too, if it comes to that, if you still don't have a decision, I would say maybe a lawsuit plus getting it ready. Like get it ready first, then sue. Like make sure that we're comfortable with what you have on file, help you fix up those little corrections, help you maybe get a little bit more marital evidence, and then go from there.
That sounds great. Cool.
Thanks, Ruth.
All right. Bye.
Have a good day. All right. That was Ms. Ruth. Let's say hi to Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for taking me on. So I'm not sure if this is actually a question you can answer, but I understand you're in St. Louis and you have experience here. So I'm German. I'm married to an American for 10 years. I have a green card. I have finally gotten the German government to agree that I can keep my German citizenship and applied for the American citizenship, and everything went so much faster than expected. So I have my interview in 2 weeks, which is great. However, my mother is seriously ill, so I'm planning to leave the country on the 24th of May, and I'm planning to stay for at least 6 months. So I don't know what to do. Should I still go to the interview? Should I postpone it? Because the oath will probably not happen within 3 or 4 weeks. And then I still need to wait for the passport, correct? The American passport before I can travel.
Yes, that'll cause a problem. That's probably the biggest, stickiest thing of all. So when is your interview actually already scheduled?
Yeah, it's on the 28th of April.
And you want to leave on the 24th of April?
Of May. So it's 4 weeks after.
Do you have to leave on that exact date?
Everything is booked, and the kids and the husband, we all want to go. I mean, can I leave and come back for the oath, or what is the best strategy? I tried to reach somebody, and I tried to call the American embassy in Germany and see to figure out what to do. But nobody could really help me.
Yeah. Can we prove your mom's sick?
Yes.
And by the way, I'm sorry your mom's sick. I should have mentioned that.
But it's
Yeah.
not such a black and white thing, you know. It's like a longer thing, but she does. I mean, I do need to go now. It's like, I mean, I could go a week later, but it is. I have to make that trip.
Here's what I would do, and this is in St. Louis.
I'm in St. Louis. Yeah, my mother's in Germany, in Berlin.
So this is what I would do. I would. This is sort of crazy, and everyone in my firm is going to yell at me, but this is what I would do. I would hire us to be your lawyer, to go with you to your interview. When everything gets approved on that day, I assume you have a clean case.
Yes. Yeah. Everything is clean. Yeah.
So what I would do is see if we would go with the interview, everything goes well, then I know some federal judges here in St. Louis, and I might ask one of them to do a ceremony for you if USCIS is willing to. And then you can go ahead and apply for the emergency passport. You have to go to Chicago, and you could get it pretty quickly, I think.
Okay. I mean, there's some, I don't know if there's some shady services that offer like a 24-hour, 3-day service as well for an extra.
No, there's like an official government office in Chicago. That's where you'll go.
Okay. But that would mean, so the oath would be some sort of an extra circumstance. Because what is the typical distance between the interview and the oath?
Anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, the other option too is, and you might not like this, is let your spouse and your kids go and you go after.
Yeah, I mean, I could consider that, but it depends when the oath is and how, you know, if it's within 3-4 weeks, it's fine. But if it's longer, then, you know, my husband has to come back at some point. And then
we would need some help. Yeah, we would need some help from USCIS because they would have to agree to do the oath ceremony. Like maybe they could do an administrative naturalization. I don't know if they have the power to do that though. And it's by office thing. And I've never, well, actually, yeah, even I once did one for a guy, an old Bosnian fellow who was dying, and we went to his house, but we had to have a federal judge come too. So this is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot to pull off. And then you're still gonna be at the mercy of the passport office in Chicago.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but is it better I just postpone the whole thing and just say I come back next year?
Well, first of all, we don't have any trips more than 6 months because that's going to mess things up. So
and I do need, but I could come back in between if that's, you know, a problem.
So let's think about that. So, that's the other thing we could do is you could go to the interview, get approved, and then talk to them about pausing your case so you can go take care of your mother, and then asking them to reopen it when you get back. They do have the power to do that. That might be the easiest thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, that I definitely go to the interview and then just like be totally honest and open, explain the circumstances and ask what to do if they can, because I don't have to have I mean, you know, I was fine 10 years without, I don't have to have, it's not urgent. I have a green card, I'm good here. And but if they can reopen it in the fall or or next year spring, be fine too. If that's an option.
You know, you just can't have a trip more than 6 months because that's going to screw everything up. They'll go nuts if you do that. So we don't want to do that because that can destroy your residency.
Okay, so even if I come back in between.
Well, here's what I would say.
I need to stay until January.
From May until January?
Yeah, I can come back in between for, you know, some weeks if that helps the case.
Yeah, we would need that, but I mean, it's going to be a big ask to get them to admin close it.
Okay.
The other thing you could do is you could just withdraw the N400 and deal with this later.
Yes, that was the other thing. Yeah. Is that the easiest? And then they reopen it when I'm back.
But again, no trips more than 6 months. So, and don't forget too, that when you apply, how long have you been married?
10 years, 9.
So when you apply, you're going to look back 5 years and you're going to need 2.5 years total inside the United States. So if you spend from now until January, those are all bad days for the calculation. So I don't know how much you've been spending your time, but you know, out of the last.
I live here. I mean, I'm much more here. Yeah. I mean, we go for the summer, but not even no. Like looking back, I'm fully believable that I live here and work here. Yeah.
I think I would withdraw the N-400 and deal with mom. Make sure you don't stay out for more than 6 months. Go for 5 months. Come back for 2 weeks. Go for 5 months, and then come back. And then once you're
Okay, so
settled,
that is okay. Yeah, this coming back. This doesn't, that's fine. They don't say, well, you're going again so long. That's fine.
no, that's one of the joys of being a permanent resident. As long as you don't stay out more than 6 months, you can. Now, eventually, if you did it for like 3 or 4 times, they might start giving you trouble. Everyone's yelling at me. Don't close it. Don't close it. In 10 days, you'll be a U.S. citizen. No, that's not true. I think
Who's yelling that? I don't know.
in the comments, they all know me, and they're fine.
Okay.
In my mind, if dealing with your mom is the most important thing, which it sounds like it is, I think I might.
Oh, I see the comments now. That's funny. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the other thing you could do is, yeah, I don't know. I think I might just go down and do the interview and ask them to admin close it. Because if they won't admin close it, then you just withdraw it. So you've already, yeah, I would do that. I think that's what I would do. I would go down, I'd do the interview, I'd pass the test, nail that all down. Then I'd say, hey, look, now I have a problem. Unless you can naturalize my butt today, I need to admin close this case because I need to go deal with my mother. I will come back, but I won't be fully settled here until February next year. So can we admin close it till then? What do you say? And if they say yes, then you admin close it with an approved test and approved N-400. And if they won't, then you just withdraw it.
Okay, and then I would need to go do the whole thing again, pay again, and restart. I mean, that worst case is fine.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm happy. Yeah. Okay. And that's like the option you think be the best.
Yeah, and there's one other thing that everyone's saying in the comments, which isn't a bad idea, which is you can actually make the Chicago passport office appointment before you're actually naturalized. So if you could pull off getting them to naturalize you quickly, I don't know that they'll do it. I honestly don't know that they'll do it because, I mean, it sounds to me like mom has something that's more chronic versus something that's very, 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 very urgent. So I think that makes it harder for them.
I know, and I have to. That's why I also need to go longer to figure out where we put her. I don't want to share all the details, but it is a bigger task. I cannot rush down there in a week and get all done. There is a lot of interconnection. But yeah, I see the comment here that I should make a passport appointment 15 days before the interview, which is like now, basically.
Yeah. I would do one thing at a time. I wouldn't go rushing all around like a crazy person. I would just do one thing at a time. And I would go down to the N-400. I'd take my test. I'd answer all their questions. And then I'd say, look, here's my situation. What do you think? See what they say.
Okay. So either close it and reopen it when I'm back, but definitely come back within that stretch of the 6 months.
For sure. No trips more than 179 days.
Okay, 180 is
180 is no good, and that'll cause you trouble.
Okay.
Now listen,
but then going back is fine. Yeah, it's not. Okay, weird. Right.
Now listen, just so you know, I've never asked to admin close an N-400, right? So I don't know if I've never done it, they've probably never done it either. So they might be a little bit confused.
Yeah. So, but then I have to withdraw it, right?
That's what I would do. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you and your mom.
Thanks so much.
Bye, Jay.
All right.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right. We had 2 calls from Germany in a row. We don't often have 2 calls from Germany in a row. That's great. All right. Tony's here. What do you say, Tony? Oh, he's got his Eagles hat on. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Stupid Chiefs. I hate those damn Chiefs.
Oh, happy Friday to you, Jim.
Same to you.
I have 3 questions for you today. So our I-130 was approved yesterday after about 5 months. And in the approval notice, it says to submit a copy of the notice along with the I-485. I'm not sure if there'll be more instructions on the mailed copy of the notice, but I wanted to ask what the next steps are from this point and what exactly they mean by submitting the approval form with the 485.
So what kind of a case is this?
It's a marriage based.
To a U.S. citizen?
Yes, please.
And you're the foreign national?
Yes, I am.
And you're inside the United States?
Yes, I am.
And what is your current immigration status?
F1 student.
Okay, and so So you and your spouse got married. You married a U.S. citizen, and then you filed the I-130, but you filed the I-130 all by itself, right?
Yeah, we filed the I-130 by itself, and then later, I think 2 weeks later, we included the 485 with the work card and the travel document.
Why did you file them separately?
Because one of them we sent electronically.
Mm.
That was the I-130, and then the rest of them we mailed it to the USCIS.
So again, just for everybody in the back row, don't file your I-130 separately than your 45. Otherwise, you get weird notices like Tony just got. It confuses them when you file the I-130 separately from the 45. They have a hard time getting the forms to connect to each other. File everything on paper. You can't file the 45 on or on the website, so it's better to file it. It's better to file it
on paper.
Together on paper, right? So, okay, so this is a perfect example of what I say all the time. The I-130 hasn't connected to your 45. The people that were finishing up your I-130 couldn't tell that you had filed an I-45, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I did submit my receipt notice for the 485 though. I mean the I-130 when I submitted the 485.
Yeah, but they're not connected. So so now you need to start trying to figure out how to get USCIS and to connect your 45 to your I-130. That's the problem. So they have a I-130 out there without a matching 485. So you probably need to start calling them and harassing them and saying, "Hey, look, you fools! I already filed a 485. Here's the receipt number. You got to get them to connect them."
Okay. All right, I'll get on that as soon as I can. And
right,
also,
next question. And everyone's laughing because they can see me behind your head because I'm on the screen back there. That's how I want my studio to be. I want my studio to be so that I can look at the person, and that we're going to set that up downstairs. But Tony's got the hookup already. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. So for my second question, for our marriage-based evidence, we submitted about 40 pictures, shared lease, bank accounts, marriage license, and proof of living together for the past 3 years. However, we're wondering if, now that the I-130 has been approved, we can't submit any more evidence because we wanted to include our joint taxes and like letters from friends and family.
But that game's over. You already won that game. You don't need to worry about that game anymore. You won that game. Now the game is Tony a good dude that we want to let get a green card?
Right. Okay. So there will be no need to submit any more evidence. That's done with, right?
Unless they ask for it. Did you send in your medical?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So you get work. I mean, I wouldn't work on the medical till they ask. But now, once they connect your I-130 to the 45, hopefully they'll start processing the 485.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Last question. So my F1 visa expires in June when I graduate. So I want to know if I'll be like out of status.
No.
It expires.
No, yeah. And you're graduating though, right?
Yes, I am.
So you should apply for OPT.
Yes, that leads me to my next question. I wanted to know if I should still apply for my work card through OPT, or I don't need to since I applied with my 485.
You should.
Okay, I should. Okay.
Yeah, because you never know which one to get here first.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if they see like 2 applications for work authorization in there. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, that clears it up. I will get on that as soon as I can.
Awesome, Tony. Good work, man. See you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Later. You got it. It's funny. I love the Eagles, but I hate the Phillies. So I don't know how that. I guess because when I was a kid, the Cardinals and the Phillies were both in the National League East, and so. But the Eagles, I always had fun watching them. I liked Dick Vermeil. I liked watching Randall Cunningham. He was one of my favorite players because he was a quarterback and he punted. So that was always good. All right, who's up next? All right, here's an interesting name. My Facebook name and IG, Tematope. Oh, it's Tematope. What's up, Tematope?
Yeah, Mr. Jim. Good afternoon.
Hi, buddy. What's up?
Yeah, thank you so much. I just have a quick two things to tell you. First, I don't know. I wanted to ask the permission. Is it possible if I wanted to help me on my immigration? Are you going to give to some one of your worker, or you are the one? Because I really wanted to handle my case.
Oh, that's such a great question, and that's for everybody. I don't handle any cases anymore. That's the best thing is I don't
Wow.
handle any cases. Now, I have to go. Somehow I got suckered into going to Washington, D.C. I thought I was going up to do one little interview. Now I have 3.
Baby, are you
So,
listening?
so not this week, but next week I got 2 green cards interviews on Thursday, and then I'm at the asylum office in Virginia on that Friday. But generally, I don't handle anybody's cases.
Wow.
I just sit around and play on YouTube all day.
Oh, okay. But the other one, I'll email you by myself.
Okay, I
Thank
got
you
your
for your
email.
help.
Yeah. Bye,
Yeah.
Timotopé. See you, buddy.
Thanks. Sir.
Okay, bye. All right, let's go to Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Oh, hi. I had a question yesterday, but I
I
also
remember.
wanted to follow up. So I'm an asylum applicant, and later this year I'll be getting married to a U.S. citizen, and I'll be filing a green card. But I do think that I might need to travel out of the country before the process is finalized. And at the moment, my passport is expired, and I cannot renew my passport because of my asylum case. So what kind of documentation would I need to travel to not my country, just outside the US?
I vote you don't leave till you get your green card.
I'm sorry?
I vote that you don't leave until you get your green card.
Okay.
But if you have to leave, you can apply for a refugee travel. Have you gotten asylum yet, or no? You haven't been.
No, I haven't. I've been waiting
Yeah.
for the last 6 years.
Yeah. So I think you either push that asylum case so that you can get some kind of a permission to travel. Otherwise, I think you're just waiting. How did you enter the United States?
F1 visa.
And are you still in school, or are you done with school?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I graduated back in.
So really, the only
2013.
thing right now today holding you on paper here is your pending asylum case.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you applied based on marriage, you would be technically applying out of status. Yeah, I vote that you don't leave until you get your green card. But if you have to leave, you could apply for advanced parole based on the
Okay.
marriage. Once that's on file and you get approved for advanced parole, which takes 7 or 8 months, it takes almost as long as the green card. My vote is you can't leave, and you don't have a passport, so I don't know what you're going to do. I don't see
Yeah.
how you're going to leave.
So, but even if I get my green card, that's only good to enter the US, not other countries, right?
Yeah, but you still have to have a passport.
Yeah, but my passport is expired and I cannot renew it because of my asylum case.
Right. Right.
So, but is there any
That's an
document
interesting question. I never thought about that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So if I get the hookup with my green card, I'm still not going to have a passport. What am I going to do? I guess I don't know the answer to that question, Rachel. No one's ever asked me that before, but that's a very good question.
Yeah, I was looking that up online and it said do the I-131, get the travel document. Some country might accept it, but
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's going to let you in. I don't know if the United States would let you in with. I don't think the United States would not let you in with a green card and an expired passport. That I know.
Oh.
So I hate to say it, you might be stuck here till you become a citizen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question, and actually, I'm also curious between now and when I get married. Is there any way to expedite my asylum case? Would you even recommend to do it?
No, I wouldn't. Unless it's like a super strong asylum case, you have such a clearer method of getting to stay here long term and faster by getting the green card based on marriage, that now it would solve your refugee travel document. Like if you get asylum, you could get a refugee travel document later on. But I would if I have someone who has a clean path to a green card based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, I'm not going to push that asylum case because I know you were here yesterday. There were lots of people talking about all the problems they had after filing for asylum and then marrying a U.S. citizen. So I would encourage you to just focus on the marriage and do that part. But it's, you could sue them to get the asylum case moving faster. But if it gets denied, then you get sent to immigration court, and then that's competing with your marriage-based green card, and it's a big old mess.
Right. Okay. But at the same time, I'd still keep my asylum case going even if I file my
Yeah. Yep.
And how would I get that dismissed? Like, if the green card is successful, like the marriage based.
Then you'll withdraw once you get the green card in your hand, you'll withdraw the asylum case.
Is there a process? Because I don't think I've seen what that withdrawal process
You'll write a letter with your receipt notice and say, my name's Rachel. I have this asylum case, ZCH with the case number. And then you'll say, I please hereby request that you withdraw the case because I already got my green card through marriage. Here's a copy of my green card.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Rachel. All right. Jessica's here. Hi, Jessica.
Hi. Can I turn off the camera?
Yeah. I'll turn off the camera. No problem. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Thanks for coming.
So I will just give a little background on my case. I arrived here in March 2020 and on a tourist visa. And I got married to a U.S. citizen in June 2021. And we applied for marriage-based adjustment of status in August 2021. And we received a request for evidence in December 2021.
What'd they ask for?
They were asking about his financials. I think he didn't meet the requirements. So we needed a joint sponsor. And
Got it.
Yes. And I received a work card in March 2022. And till there, we didn't have any response. We didn't have anything. We did call and submitted an inquiry, but they told us that right now the timeline is changed. So I don't really know what to do because we have been all this time waiting. I don't know if there is any trouble with our case. I really don't know what to do.
So, when you got married, you were out of status, right?
Yes.
And when you got your visit visa, what embassy gave you your visit visa?
Mozambican embassy.
Yep. The U.S. Embassy in Mozambique. Yep.
Yes.
And what was the purpose of your travel to the United States?
Just visit.
And what evidence did you submit in support of your argument that you would return at the end of your visit?
What happened was I tried to get a visa twice and I was denied. And then I tried the third time with my mom and they accepted. I didn't really submit anything, but my mom submitted her work paper and everything. But she went back to Mozambique. I stayed here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So were you ever married in Mozambique?
No.
And did you and your mom fill out the forms for your DS-160 for your B1, B2 yourself, or did you hire somebody to do that for you?
We did ourselves.
Great. And so you didn't mark that you were married or anything?
No.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and then what big city do you live by? If you have a green card interview, what city would it be in?
Baltimore.
Okay, and if I were to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you submitted very little marriage evidence and 10 is you submitted a lot, what would you say you did?
I would say 5.
5. Okay. So basically what I have is a green card, marriage-based green card case that's coming up on 2 years since filing, right?
Yes.
Did you file with a lawyer or without a lawyer?
Without a lawyer.
Okay. Is there anything that you can think of that might make them sit on your case? Now, whenever you file out of status, get married out of status, that puts it on the fraud list automatically. That's one of the things on the top of their list as far as when people get married while out of status. So that's a little bit of a higher burden. But is there anything else that worries you about the case?
Not really.
Okay. So
Sorry to cut you off.
you're fine.
One thing was when we called to submit an inquiry, they say that they already scheduled an interview for our I-130 last year back in July, but they canceled it. We never received any notification for that.
Yeah, so that tells me that there's something up with your case. You're probably going to need to sue them. I've sued that Baltimore field office many times. I love suing that field office because they don't mess around. They just get to work. So I think if we sued them, you'd have an interview or not, probably in about 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
Yep. And the fact that it was scheduled for an interview and then canceled and you never knew about that, that's
Yeah.
the kind of thing that makes me think that something's wrong, not necessarily with your case, but just with the system and everything, and that you're probably going to need to sue them, whether you do it now or 6 months from now. Hopefully you won't, but I think that you'll need to sue them.
Okay, so I called your office today, and I don't know what to do now. What should I do to contact you guys?
You called already?
Yes, I called. I talked to Mariana.
Okay. Julie will find you. Did you find her already, Julie? What, Jessica, what's the first letter of your last name?
S.
S like Sam?
Yes.
All right, Julie will find you. She'll talk to Mariana, and then we'll track you down over the weekend or on Monday, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye.
Okay, see ya. All right, everybody. Now, I was going to wrap the show because I have to go home for an appointment, but we have a very important guest. He's pretty much closing out the show. Shabazz, is it going to be a quick call? Give me a thumbs up if it's going to be a quick call. All right, Shabazz is here, everybody, for your listening enjoyment. Hello, Shabazz. What's up, buddy?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Juma Mubarak, sir.
Same to you. Yeah. I went to Juma prayer today. I was thinking about you as I walked into the Gamma, and I was thinking, oh, Shabazz is probably down at the mosque in Houston.
Yeah. Of course.
What's up?
Sir, you know what happened today? I call this DHS, and you know what happened? They told me that we will tell you the status of your PD, but we will tell your attorney. Then I text my attorney secretary. She told me, okay, I will connect her, because you told me you can talk to your attorney once in a week.
Once in a week, right?
Yeah. So he answered my call, and I told him, sir, I request him, sir, government attorney, he want to talk to you. Please ask him what is the status of my PD, because 3 weeks back he write the letter for him that what is the status. So the government attorney told him that, sir, once his I-30 will be approved, then we will do his pre-surgical destruction.
Now, is that the exact same thing I've told you like 5 times? That you've got to get the I-130 approved before they'll agree to PD.
Yeah. But sir, I went to UCA office. The lady told me that they will not work on your I-30, I-485. But my attorney told me, forget about UCS. They don't know anything.
That's right. That's true. Your lawyer's right.
Yeah. He told me that. Then he told me, just do one thing. Tell your wife to eat their minds in. Call UCIS or tell them to what is the status of my I-30, my husband's petition. Please process it.
Shabazz, what's the priority date on the I-130?
March 18th, 2022.
Yeah, so it's been over a year, and it's stuck at USCIS, and they say we can't do it because you're in removal. So I'm gonna give you the same advice from now on when you call, because we're over a year. Okay. You should sue that. You should hire me to sue them to get them to decide your I-130. Otherwise, it's just.
Sir, I'm 100% agree with you. I can do anything, no problem, no worries. But my question is that my attorney told me that it's in Vermont, it's showing 14 months. And it's showing now the status case is being actively reviewed by UCIS. Nothing is outstanding at this time. We will let you know if we need anything from you.
Yeah.
He told me your processing time is going to over in May 18th.
Okay. So Shabazz, you clearly know how to find me. Whenever you're ready to sue them, we will sue them. I will help you when you're ready.
Listen, sir, I need to talk to you personally.
We're We're talking right now. What are you talking about?
I can talk to you about the process and money and everything.
Okay.
No, I'm and one more thing. In my case, you were saying like 5-10 minutes before that you should file your I-30 I-485 together. But my attorney, in my case,
No,
he
you
just
can't.
filed.
You can't. You couldn't
In my case, he have to file separately.
because of immigration court. That's right.
And my attorney told me one thing, that I am the attorney Shabazz from last 25 years, and I am telling you, in like your cases, they will not call you for interview maybe, and they will send me the letter, send Shabazz medical, and they will issue the green card. It can be happen.
After you get out of court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me that it can. I am the attorney from last 25 years. He's from India. He told me that, Shabazz, I saw some of your cases. They are saying please send us the medical, and then you have to submit the medical, and then they will send the green card.
All right, Shabazz, I got to go. Yes, that's right. I got to go. All right. Have a good weekend. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Have a good day.
Bye, buddy. See you.
Bye. Bye.
All right. Well, Shabazz has been here, I think, 3 days this week. I'm sure that makes you all happy. Tomorrow, special start time, 12:30, unless it rains. So if it rains, thanks, Safe News. Love you too. If it rains, that might screw up the schedule. So just get on the text. I'll send out a text in the morning, but plan on 12:30 tomorrow. And we got 1 week left. Now we really need Ramadan to come on Friday, to Eid to come on Friday, because I can't do a show next Friday and I need to get every show in Ramadan. So, all right. Well, we all love Shabazz. We all love Huli. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.